Okay, now members, we are going to see a new topic or a new chapter. This chapter is called fractions, percentages, and decimals. So, from primary, I think you covered what we call fractions, and then you saw the types we can be with. So, you are going to have fraction as a definition is a number in the form of A over B, where A is not equal to 0 and B is not equal to 0. So these two are non-zeros, as simple as that. And B is not equal to 0. We shall see when you go up there, we shall see why this B, for it can't be 0 even. It's more. It's because we shall be say that number is going to be undefined. But up there, i.e. A and B are non-zeros, so they are just non-zeros. So A is called a numerator and B is called a denominator. A function A over B is said to be in its simplest form when A and B cannot be simplified any further. So that is the case we are having when this B cannot be simplified any further. Any further, i.e. when they have no common factor. So if you find number that there is no any factor which can divide both, then that number is in its simplest form, or some people call it the lowest form or the least form. As simple as that. So let us see the types of fractions. I think these ones you saw them in the primary. So we are going to start with proper fractions. A fraction A over B is said to be proper if A is less than B. If this is a fraction, said to be proper. Proper if the number is always less than B. i.e. A is less than B. E.g. when you see this number, 3 is less than 4, 1 is less than 3, 4 is less than 5, 6 is less than 1, etc. I think we saw this in time. Okay. Then improper. A fraction xy is said to be improper if now the numerator is greater than the denominator. We say this is the numerator, this is the denominator. So if this one is greater than this, then there we say that the fraction is improper. It's the opposite of the other one now. i.e. when the numerator is greater than the denominator. So this one should be greater than what is down. So you see 3, 2, 3, 1, 5, 3, 11, 6, and so on. I think you can know that these ones, the reciprocal of a proper fraction gives us what we call an improper fraction. And now these improper fractions will lead us to what we call mixed fraction. This is a fraction with a whole number and a proper fraction in a form of x A over B. We are going to see these ones later in details. So now, I want you now to group yourselves in groups of 6. We are going to do this activity. We are having 2 activities of integration. First one is going to be in groups of 6, write any fraction of your choice on a paper. Then part B, shade the following. So, after shading this following, we also shade these ones here. So that's going to be our activity. So, I want you in a group of 5. I'm going to give you 10 minutes for these 2. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm going to give you 10 minutes for that. Okay, in groups of 5, can we start? You just get a mark. I'm going to give you markers. Then you write any fraction you feel like, or what comes into your mind and you think it's a fraction. You write it on the paper. And then after, you shade these ones and we see. Can we start? Okay, these are the ones, 10 minutes are elapsed and I've corrected the shadings are there. Then we also have these fractions. Okay, the one I give, when I show you, you tell me whether it's improper or proper or a mixed. This one, I think everyone can see it. Is it proper, improper? This one is First of all, it's 5, we say 5 over 6. You see? Is it improper? Proper. Proper. Why? Why do you think it's proper? Because this is less than the one down. Okay, that's the understanding. I think you can see properly. It's proper there. Okay, when we come to the other one is this one. Is it proper? Improper? Proper. It's 1 over 2, which you can ever read as half. Okay, when I come to this, proper, improper, 3 over 5. Yes, is it proper, improper? It's improper. Why? Okay, because the number in the numerator is bigger than the number in the denominator. Okay, what about this? Yeah, we have this also. Improper, proper. Improper. Why? Because the number in the numerator is bigger than the number in the denominator. Okay, I have another one here. What about this one? It's called a mixed fraction. Okay, it's mixed because it's that we have our own number and then we have a proper fraction close to it. So this one is called a mixed fraction. This one, I think everyone can see. It's called an improper fraction. Okay, I think we all the groups I think have sampled. Then I have this one. This one is called improper. Oh, someone is saying improper. What are you saying? Is it improper? Okay. What is it? Mixed. So this is a mixed fraction. So that's it. All other groups I've seen your work. Now let us go to the next part. It was shade the following, and these ones are managed correctly. These ones here. Shade the following. So we start with a quarter. I'm going to have the first group with a quarter. This is what they shade. This is their shading. Is this a quarter? Okay. So you see that someone now is shading out of, first of all, he divided them a circle into 4 parts. 4 equal parts, there should be equal parts. Then he was told to shade 1 over the 4 parts. So if you use a circle, this would be the idea. Like someone did it here, and then for him or her or their group decided to shade that. And this is very okay. But I'm also seeing another one did it, another group did it in this way. This is what they, I think we can also agree on that. For them, they divided a rectangle into 4 equal parts, and then they did shade 1 part. So also this one is very okay. This is very okay. As long as these parts are equal, this is also very okay. Okay. Let us move to the next fraction, which was a half. The first group, one of the groups, this is what they are having. And I think we can every agree. So for them, they have a circle. People like circles, I don't know why. Okay, and then this is what they did. A half. You divide this one shows, you divide it into 2 parts, then you shade 1. This means divide it in 4 parts, then you shade 1 part. Okay, another group, this is what they did. For them, they used a rectangle. I like the creativity. So for them, they used the rectangle, and then after that, they had to shade 1 part. So others use the rectangle, the triangle, and then they shade off 1 part like that. All of these are okay, as long as you are dividing it into equal parts and you shade 1. Okay, then we move to the next. The next is saying 3 over 5. 3 over 5, I think I have this one here. I think you see what they are having here. They divided it into 5 parts, and then they had to shade 3 parts. So, by next time, please you indicate the groups. So this is what I did. And then they shaded. So this one shows you divide into 5 parts, then you shade off 3. So 1, 2. Even for them they skipped, and then they had to shade this one, which is very okay, even if you don't skip. So that's how they did theirs. Okay, then someone 2 over 3. Okay, we have our friends here. This is how they have, then they have this. How do you comment about this? Is it right, or we try to correct our friends? So first of all, what fraction did they share? 1 over 3. So they shaded 1 over 3. Yet ours was 2 over 3. Okay, let us correct our friends. So they are telling you divide it into 3. Any you have, as long as it's a known result, you have to shade it 2 over 3. You can shade this one. You want to shade it to all this one or this one. And even if you come and shade this, no problem. So that's what you had to do. So this one, okay, you can clear that. So this is very okay. And this is very okay. So now we come to the last 2. Now these are improper fractions. How did they shade them? Now what does it mean? It means that now, we have 3 people here. The first one, they did 3 over 2. This is what they have. This is what they have. So the idea is very easy, and I think they are very correct. What you do, you see, they are telling you anything you use, you are going to divide them into 2, then you shade 3. So this one means, first of all, we can have them, they use the circles. So they have these 2 circles, like that. This one is telling us that every circle divided into 2 parts. Every circle divided into 2 parts. Then you shade 3 parts. So this is 1. This is the second. Then this is the third. So that's how we shade 3 over 2. Okay, even you can draw. For them, you can even use this. You can also use this. No problem. You can even use this. And then this one tells you divide it into 2 parts each. Then you shade 3 out of these ones. 1, 2. Those are the 3. That's how we said proper fraction. So this one was very okay, and then this was also very okay. Then when we come to 5 over 3, this one is telling us that now, if you have of them, now you are shading, you are dividing them in 3. Then after you shade 5, what does that mean? It means that now, as long as you are dividing, what you are using, you are dividing it into 3. So our group, this is what they are having. This is what they are having. And I think they are very, very okay. So what you had to do is to draw. Like this. Then this one shows that you divide them into 3 parts. 1, So after you shade 5, this is 1. You can even shade like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. And from there, you have shaded to 5/3. Simple as that. So always the numerator is telling us what are you going to do? If you use a rectangle, we divide in each rectangle, divide it into 3 equal parts. Then if you use a circle like for this one, we divide it into 2 equal parts. So this one now, what are you going to use? So you have to divide them in 4 parts. So here, I think I never got any group which are presenting this to us. But anyway, let me handle it. So here, I'm going to use now circles. So this is what I'm going to be handling. I'm going to be handling the first circle, the second circle, the third circle, the fourth, then the fifth. So the other means that I should divide each circle into 4 parts. This means we divide the circle each into 4 parts, like that. So you can tell me whether I have excess or not. Do we need this when it comes to shading? Okay, you tell me if I need it or not. So you first draw them like that. And even if you draw many, then you can see whether you need it or not. That's what I want you to see. Now, it's circle now, I'm dividing it. Because why am I drawing many? Because I'm seeing I have to shade 13. So it means that now what am I going to do? I'm going now to shade 13. So you count. So you shade this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, then 13. So we are remaining like that. So it's that we don't need that one. So then we can remove it in this. As simple as that. Okay, so that's how we shade that one. This denominator is always giving you, is always telling you what you have to shade. And then here, this group was okay. Then here, this is mine, so I'm going to give myself also a tick. So that's it. Now I want you to go and write these notes properly. You make your own notes now, and then you try out these 2. Now I want you to shade for me 5/4. You try that. Now this one, it will tell you how many circles you need. You try out this. This is part A. Then you try for me 3/5. Then you also shade for me 1/3. Now I'm bringing in some idea of a mixed fraction. So that's it. I wish you well. But please, when you are bringing this one, make sure you have made your own notes about this lesson. Then you bring as to bring this exercise to me. So I wish you well.